Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, but more importantly, welcome back to my, well, not welcome back, but welcome to my final video of 2020. I know for a fact this year has been a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but for me personally, I really do feel like I have to give credit where credit is due. This year was by far a whirlwind, and as much as I want to say like it was one of my worst years, I don't think I can do that and keep a clear conscience. So in this video, I wanted to give you guys just a quick review of my 2020 and why I feel like it wasn't as horrible of a year for me as First of all, I need to say that, I understand like a lot of people went through a lot of things this year. Some of us lost loved ones, some of us lost, close friends, family members, pets, we lost jobs, some people lost their homes, things got repossessed, and I completely understand that. And my heart goes out to all of those people that have lost anything or anyone in this year. I'm praying for you, I'm rooting for you, I'm on your side. But once again, like I said earlier, I just have to give credit where credit is due. So to recap my 2020, when I started this year, I started with a job. For the longest, you guys don't know how many videos I tried to make about my job. Like, I have a new job, I finally found a job, I love my job. I tried to make videos for the longest, and I found this job in September of 2019. And coming into the new year, I had started talking to people saying like, maybe I'll put my teaching practice off for another year. Maybe I'll just graduate in 2022 so that I can stay here and I could work, because I really did love the job. I loved it. It was amazing. I loved the kids. I was a teaching assistant. I know for a fact I've never said that, but I was a teaching assistant, and yeah, I loved the school. I loved everything about it, to the point where I was willing to put my future on hold to stay in that position. And this year really taught me like the will of God is stronger than the will of man. Like, the will of God will always overturn the will of man. So I was talking about maybe, I'll defer and I'll just graduate like a year later, whatever. Like, I really love this job. I love the pay, and I'm happy. I'm comfortable here. And so in March, I lost that job, completely unrelated to the pandemic. It was something that was out of my hands, but I lost that job in March, literally 3 days before the pandemic hit the Bahamas and schools started closing, businesses started closing. 3 days. And on the first day, I lost my job on a Tuesday. On the first day, I had a friend, like literally the most amazing woman ever I found on that job. She literally called me like 7 times that day. She messaged me every day just to like check on where I was, because she knew like I was butt hurt. And on the day that I was sent home, she messaged me. She said, take this day, like feel your emotions, like, because they're valid. You have what you're feeling is valid. But tomorrow, get up and get on. Like, get on with life. This is not the end of your life. She literally told me you're going to look back at this moment at the end of the year and wonder why you were so emotionally distraught. And like, I swear, like, I don't want to sound so preachy or churchy, but like, God really puts people in your life and he gives them a message. And like, you don't see it then, because then I was a snotty mess. Like, I literally came home and I'm like, I'm just going to tell everybody one time that I got relieved from my position, so that I don't have to keep retelling the same story. So I told everybody. I cried. I was a snotty mess. I stayed to myself. I didn't want to eat. Like, I was just not in a good place. But I took my friend's advice, and she said, today you take it and you cry and you feel your emotions because they're valid. And then tomorrow you get up and work. And so literally in those 3 days before the pandemic hit the Bahamas and schools started closing, I called up schools. I sent out emails to see if I could do my teaching practice there. I got in contact with everyone from everywhere. And if I hadn't lost my job, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because I didn't get off that job until 4 o'clock. Schools close at 3, offices close at 4. And so I wouldn't have had the opportunity to make those calls and see those people and get to those places. So because of losing my job, which has nothing to do with the pandemic really, but it's just 2020, I was able to kind of secure my future. And what that also taught me is, because I lost my job, it was a Tuesday at like lunchtime. So like Tuesday at 12 is when I was relieved from my position. And literally by 5 o'clock that same evening, there was already a posting for my position. Like, they had already it was just they had already decided they're going to go look and fill the position with somebody else. And that really made me realize, like, as much as I felt like I loved that job, that was me helping somebody else's dreams stay alive. And I was willing to put my dream on hold for that, like to help somebody else's dream flutter or fly or grow or whatever. And that showed me, like, you really have to be the master of your own life. Like, you really have to take control of what's really yours. Because, like I said, I was more than willing to defer my teaching, and I would not be where I am today had I stayed on that job. And so I, like I said, was butthurt and I cried because I lost it. But looking at it now, it's like, why was I so hurt? Like, that was not my dream. That was somebody else's dream that I was working to bring to fruition. But it was never really my dream. Like, that was never my goal. So after I lost my job and I started working to bring my dreams to fruition, that's when I actually started to get serious about posting my one video every Thursday on YouTube. And this year, by far, this is the most consistent I've ever been with posting videos. And I don't want to jinx it and say I'm going to carry this into the new year with me, but I really want to try. So yes, because of the pandemic, I became more consistent with something that I've been doing on and off for maybe 2 years. I don't even really remember, but it made me consistent. And also, it made me put more effort into my familial relationships. Honestly, I'm a very introverted person. I do really prefer to stay to myself. If I have to choose between going out or staying in, I'm going to stay in. I don't mind watching a movie at home. I don't mind cooking my own dinner. Like, those are the things that I love to do. And so when I was working, I spent my 8 hours. I would go to work, spend my 9-ish, almost 10-ish hours, Monday through Friday there. I would come home and really just stay to myself. Or even there was a time when I was going to work and school, so I would go to work. I would have to leave home like 7:15 to make it there for 8, stay till 4, rush from there to school because I had a class from 6 to 9, rush home, literally eat dinner, prepare whatever I would need for work for the next day, cook, like prepare my lunch, make sure like my uniform and everything was in check, and literally like shower and sleep. I had no time. And so at that job, I found another job through that job that had me working weekends. Like, I was just doing a lot, and I wasn't putting much time into like my familiar relationships or myself. I was just kind of going wherever the money pulled me, if I'm being honest. Like, I was working for the money. And when all of that stopped, I kind of had to slow down and focus more on my home life because I don't have a job to go to anymore. Monday through Friday, I don't have this weekend job. I don't have any of the burdens, honestly, is what they were. Like, I don't have any of those burdens. I don't have any of those obligations to other people. So now, like, I really have to focus on my home life and my family life and myself. And that's like, I spent a fair bit of the time this year learning myself or relearning myself and recentering myself and focusing on my goals and my dreams and my aspirations and how I want to go about achieving them. And so that's another thing that I was able to accomplish this year because of the pandemic. And then most importantly, I was able to complete my teaching practice and complete all the requirements that were needed of me to graduate. And so I am now currently technically completely and utterly done with the University of the Bahamas. If graduation is physical in May, then I will 100% be doing that. But if it's virtual, I don't think I will be participating just because I've seen the virtual ceremony last year and it left a lot to be desired. And that, I guess, is a very general, very quick recap of the 365 days that made 2020. I don't want to like jinx anything and say, 2021 is going to be our year. It's going to be great. We're going to do this, that, and the next. Like, I am literally keeping my mouth shut when it comes to those kind of things. But I am manifesting positivity and growth and new adventures and just bringing dreams to life. I haven't set any like full-on goals or resolutions for the new year. However, there are a lot of things that are just up in the air, and I have learned that sometimes you just have to let life happen because it's going to happen regardless. It's going to be less stressful on you or me as a person to just let life happen. And so that's what I'm doing now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy seeing videos from me, then you should subscribe and click the bell so that you get notified every single time I post a new video. I will see you guys in my next video, which will be in the new year. We made it. We did it. Bye, guys.